This just arrived on the doorstep this morning. Just wait one sec. Look, where did I put it? Guys, can't tell Kelly that I'm using the kitchen knife to do this, okay? Because she'll be very mad. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, whatever. Okay, struggling. Aha. Oh gosh. This, everybody, is the Evolution Wireless Digital by Sennheiser. You don't need the box anymore, yeah. Now, at the time of making this video, I've got to say I was already looking into a few different options for stage microphones, right? Because currently I actually don't have any live stage microphones at the moment. I mean, in my studio I've got like all these, I've got ribbon mics and condensers, and they're basically, I don't know if you can hear me when I just did that, but they're basically just all studio microphones. Like, I can't even find an SM58. If you're new to this channel, thanks for taking the time to check it out. And if you're into anything that's audio or visual related, so tutorials, gear reviews, music covers, me just making a fool of myself on camera because my kids like to take the piss out of me all the time. Like, I'm surprised they're not screaming and just tormenting me while I'm trying to make this. So right now, this is good. Anyway, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you're notified when I post new content. It really does help. Alright, so with everything happening around the whole world and the uncertainty of live music, at least here in Australia, I decided I wanted to explore doing some live streaming. In particular, setting up these like live gigs for musicians to be able to stream to say like YouTube or to Facebook or Instagram. Now, of course, I could have just used a wide mic. I've got plenty of, studio microphones here. And arguably, the wide mics are going to sound better. But in terms of like, down the track, if I'm wanting to have a bigger setup, so a bigger band, more musicians, more singers, the less wires on stage, I just think it's going to be a cleaner setup in my opinion. Plus, I also thought I'd give this a go, especially since Sennheiser reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review this and test it out. But just so you know, all opinions are all mine, and I haven't been given any direction on what to say. All right, so if you're familiar with Sennheiser, you're probably familiar with the G3 and the G4 lineup of wireless systems. So this wireless digital is kind of like it's like the next generation of that lineup. So I actually used to own a few of the G3 and the G4 wireless systems that my old band used to tour around with for just years. And I remember buying some, we first tried buying some cheaper ones from, I think it was eBay, and they were just so unreliable. They'd have noise in them, they'd distort. They were just an absolute nightmare. I ended up just giving them away. I didn't even bother selling them. In the end, I just threw some money down on the Sennheiser stuff, and I actually ended up getting the whole band on the G4 system. And honestly, they were rock solid. Like, they never missed a beat. All right, so this system takes advantage of the UHF frequency band. And if I'm not mistaken, this is going to allow you to have multiple of these systems, not just like 5 or 6. And you know what? There's going to be no limitations. So where I think this is going to be an advantage is for places like churches, for auditoriums, for like live streams, for boardrooms, maybe venues. You get the idea. It's basically where you're going to be having multiple of these wireless systems used simultaneously. So I'm not just talking about just the microphones, but in-ears. They've got the head mics of the instrument sets. All of those things, if you get a cheaper system, can interfere with that band. So with the Evolution series, you don't even have to worry about any of that stuff. So with the Evolution series, you're definitely going to be buying into something that's a more robust system that you can scale up as you grow. And to be honest, with anything that I buy, I've always had that in the back of my mind. I don't want to be buying something that's kind of the cheaper alternative for now. It's going to end up costing me more money down the track when I've got to, upgrade or sell it. Now, I'm not saying go out and splurge your money on the most expensive kit, because you're probably going to end up divorced, bankrupt, or not have a home. But what I'm saying is just do your research, be wise in making a decision. I've always believed, you get what you pay for. I'd rather invest that money now into something that is a quality product that's reliable and it can be expanded upon when the time is right. All right, so with the new Evolution system technology, Sennheiser actually takes advantage of the new Sennheiser Wireless app, which is now kind of like, it's the brain or the central dashboard for where you can control all the settings of your wireless systems. And not just one system, but all Evolution wireless systems. So if you remember from the previous generation G3 or the G4, you'd have control of all of those settings from the little transmitter or receiver thing, whatever it's called, right? And don't get me wrong, it all worked really well, but it was really fiddly having to go through those menus, and if you're not tech savvy, it's a little bit hard. But now, with the new Smart app, you don't even actually need that at all. In fact, if the rest of your band, for instance, is on the Evolution wireless system, so on ears, on mics, on instruments, etc., you can have just one of your band members log into the app on their phone, and they can basically manage all the settings from renaming everyone's packs. They could mute, they could scan for better frequencies for everyone's packs to make sure that they're on a good frequency. You could basically do anything from that Smart app. So you could give the house engineer access to this so that they can control it all, or you could give it to your drummer. Because, let's be honest, you never let your bass player near anything like that. You just want them to focus on just doing one thing, just play the song, and just do that. Because half the time they can't even do that right, yeah? Alright, so Sennheiser sent me the Evolution Wireless digital handheld set, and there's a whole bunch of different sets you can get. I've got the handheld set, so let's open it up. Okay, so when you open the box for the first time, you're gonna find the microphone transmitter, which is this guy. You got the 835 capsule. Now, you can upgrade these capsules when your budget suits. I used to have an 845 on my old system. You've got a Sennheiser microphone clamp. Then you've also got the receiver wrapped in this black wrapping. You've got two Bing NC antennas. And you've also got a pair of AA batteries. You get a rack mount kit for mounting into an enclosure. Alright, so let's talk about the setup. And just so you know, setting this thing up is just super easy. Now in the past, setting these things up has been a little bit cumbersome, especially if you're not really tech savvy with this type of gear. But this is where Sennheiser has changed the game, introducing their smartphone app. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've reset this back to factory. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fire this back up, pressing this button here. Alright, so you can see that we've got a bunch of numbers, 606, 400, that's the frequency band, you can get gain, AF out, etc., right? Now, I believe the little red light here means that it's not connected to the transmitter, or it's not synced. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my phone, and let's set this up right now. Alright, so I've got my phone, and I'm gonna head over to my Smart app. So it says no receivers added yet, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say add receivers. I'm gonna hit next. And now it's asking me to press the sync button on the receiver for 3 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It says sync button here. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we've got the blue button flashing, and now it's come up saying add receivers to your setup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this add receiver to setup. Identify your device by checking permanently lit blue LED. And yes, we can see the data blue light is a solid blue now. Now this is where I can rename it, so I'm going to go ahead and rename it DK. Okay. And you can choose your color here. I'm going to go with blue because I like blue. Hit save. Bluetooth pairing request. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit pair. Add receivers to your setup. I'm going to click next. Now it's going to scan. So this is where it's going to find the best frequency for the area that we're in. Okay, so that's been done. We're going to hit next. Now you're almost done. You just need to sync your transmitter. All right, so we're going to sync the transmitter now. So let's hit that. Now I'm going to grab the transmitter. And now it's telling me to power up the transmitter. Short press the sync button. Okay, now it's flashing blue. And now it's synced. That's it. Okay, I'm going to hit, get out of that, closing, hit done, and it says we're ready to perform. Now I'm going to be swapping between this microphone and this one. Obviously they're different microphones, but you can have a listen. So this is the Sennheiser 122, 1234. This is a Sennheiser 835 capsule on here. I'm not sure if there's much RF noise, I can't tell. When I did tests before, I couldn't notice any RF noise. It sounds really good to me. The other thing that I love about this is if, you know, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Now I'm not having any sound coming through here, but on the app, I just go into it and click it. So this is for like your sound engineer or whoever's looking after your system. They can say mute lock transmitter, and now you've got signal going back. All right, so what do I think about the sound quality? Well, you know, Sennheiser's been in the wireless market for ages now. So you know that you're buying into something that has a lot of experience and expertise in that area. And in terms of sound quality, with my short play, I think this thing is excellent. It's brilliant. I haven't noticed any dropouts. I can barely notice any RF noise. And I just think this thing is just a solid piece of kit. Now the 835 capsule, so that's this little black part on here, this actually can be upgraded, and they have a wide range of different capsules from Sennheiser to Neumann that you can basically just swivel on. So if you've got the wide microphone, so the Sennheiser wide 835, well, I guess it's basically the same as that. You could compare it as well to like an SM58 in sound. I think this is probably a little bit brighter, has a bit of a tighter bass sound. It's got a bit more clarity. All right, so make sure that you subscribe because I'll be doing another video in an actual live environment, and I'm gonna show you some sound clips from the actual stream using this microphone. And I might even compare it to maybe the SM7B, just to show you like how much sound rejection you're getting. Because when you upgrade these capsules, they've got different polar patterns, which is gonna allow different amounts of sound rejection depending on what capsule you get. Now, please let me know if you've got any questions about this mic and this whole setup. I actually answered a lot of questions from people over on my Instagram there too. So if you aren't following me, then make sure that you do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. This is satisfying for me. You probably can't even hear it because that bloody light is very loud, but I'll try. Okay, here we go. Just be satisfied with me. Should I do it this way? Then you can see it. Okay, here we go. That was good. Okay. See ya.